2023 presidential election is bringing out a lot of permutation that people have guessed, and at the end of the day, they are guessing wrongly. It will be very shocking and surprising to most people today that in some way they don't make it as the vice presidential candidate of the PDP. Okowa, the governor of Delta State, has come up to be the candidate of the PDP. That means he will be flying the flag of PDP come 2023 at the presidential polls. Atiku reveals major reason for picking Okowa over Wike. The 2023 presidential candidate of the PDP, Atiku Abubakar, has unveiled Delta State Governor Ifeanyi Okowa as his running mate. This was contrary to a selection made by a 19-man committee set up to select the party's vice presidential candidate. The committee has opted for Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike. If the committee has opted for him, what now happens? Is it that some governors don't want him? Is it that some party leaders don't want Wike? Or because of his attitude before the presidential primaries? I'm sure he had issues with so many governors. The governor of Akwa Ibom, the governor of Edo State, and some party leaders. Was it why they did not allow him to get the ticket? Because now, as things are, it is about game and it's about interest. Maybe they see Nyesom Wike as somebody they cannot control, or they see him as too ambitious, and they are afraid that anything can happen along the line and he may take over. They don't want Wike to have too much power. I'm sure that is why this must be a conspiracy. It is not ordinary, because the National Working Committee, which is the highest organ of the party, according to the reliable information we got before now, that is cut 13 out of the 16 members that voted, then what now happened? Why is it that Okowa came up today? He was speaking at the unveiling ceremony at the party's national secretariat. Atiku revealed that his running mate has to be someone he can work with. This is loaded. Trust, and will support him wholeheartedly to steer the country to greater heights. Wow. Well, let's listen to his speech. Let me begin by once more commending our great party for organizing and concluding arguably the best and rancor-free convention, which produced me as our flag bearer for the next year's presidential election. Once more, I commend my fellow aspirants in that contest and thank them for their sportsmanship. They put up spirit fights because they care for our country. I've personally gone around to thank them and to see their cooperation for the struggle ahead. Party unity is critical, not only for us to prosecute a winning campaign, but also to provide good governance that our country seriously deserves and our people earnestly yearn for. The task of winning the coming elections will be a tough one, and we must not take anything for granted. Wow. Is it that they don't want to take anything for granted? That is why Okowa is being presented. What is the pedigree of Okowa? Well, he has been the Delta State Governor the last 7 years, is rounding up to. Is it that he's from the minority even in Delta? How is he going to garner the vote? I hope this will not tear Delta PDP into pieces, because I know there are some issues even in the gubernatorial primaries of the PDP in Delta. Some godfathers were interested in getting somebody else, and Okowa's candidate at the end of the day won that primaries. I hope this will not stand against him among the godfathers. But politics is a delicate thing. Are we sure it was not the godfather that pushed him, that backed him forward with some negotiation? When you get there, these are the things that you give to us. Because these politicians, that is what we are saying, they are more united among themselves than even the electorates. They know what they want and they go for it. So many people have been saying in Delta, Okowa will not succeed because his godfather is there, that is James Ibori. His candidate did not win that gubernatorial primaries. It was Okowa's candidate that won. And people thought maybe they are going to fight to finish. But look at what is happening. If Ibori is behind him, we don't know. But if not, this guy has been given the ticket to fly with Atiku. With the convention behind them, we are us. We have arrived at the stage for me to pick a running mate because this is a joint ticket. I'm very happy to announce today that I've reached a decision on that. In arriving at the decision, I had wide consultations with various stakeholders in our party, including our governors, National Working Committee, Board of Trustees, and other leaders to seek their input and their wisdom. In these consultations, I made clear that my running mate will have the potential to succeed me at a moment's notice. That is a president in waiting. Look at that strategy. In other words, the person must have the qualities to be president. The person must have an appreciation of the deep root which our country has been put into by the rudderless APC government. Understand the great suffering that most of our people are going through and the urgency of relieving them of that suffering. Understand the critical importance of economic growth and development to provide our young people with jobs, hopes, and a pathway to wealth. Well, I don't know. I've not been to Delta in some few years, but I don't think Okowa has any tangible thing to fly with among Deltas. Delta is a oil producing state, but what is on ground physically and what the revenues are, they don't tally. When it rains, so many parts of Asaba, even the state capital, is flooded. The same with Wari. Well, I don't know. These politicians, they have a way of playing their games. For him to get that ticket today, it shows there have been some give and take. Well, the person must appreciate the critical importance of education in the development of modern societies so we can prepare our young people to be able to compete in the increasingly competitive and globalized world. My running mate must understand that without security, development will be very difficult because local and foreign investors who have been scared away already will not return to invest in our economy. Thus, my running mate will be a person who will stand by me as I confront the frightening level of insecurity in our land. As you know, the APC government went to sleep as huge swaths of our country territory fell into the deadly hands of gangs of criminals, including those masquerading as freedom fighters or pastoralists, while our farmers and genuine pastoralists are unable to go about their businesses. The cost in previous human lives and properties have been enormous. My running mate must not also only symbolize the imperative of reuniting our country, but also be able to work with me to achieve that objective. This is because a united Nigeria is a potentially stronger, more prosperous, and more secure country, able to lead Africa and give hope to the black race. In addition, my running mate has to be someone who is not afraid to speak his mind and give honest advice, and by my side as I work very hard to reverse the destructive impact of the past 7 years of the APC government. Well, that is Atiku enumerating the reasons why he chose Okowa as his running mate. What is your own opinion about this? Kindly make it known as you subscribe to my page. Thank you, good day, and God bless.